Okay, well, right off the bat, I'm going to say I am going to support Wikileaks and its founder, Julian Assange, all the way. And the reason I make this statement today is because any kind of independent opinion in the media is being suppressed. This guy is not a CIA asset, as some people claim. As a matter of fact, sooner or later he'll probably be assassinated for his actions, while putting his life on the line, no less. You know, the lone gunman theory will then come back into action. The naive beliefs of people who tend to believe governmental officials, military officials, on all sides. On all sides. This isn't just about America, the UK, it's also about Europe. European governments. Cooperation between the players while downplaying the carnage, which is ongoing. So, you know, if you're not going to stand up for your freedoms of speech, freedom of information, and so on anymore, and if various factions, political factions in the US are now saying that when this stuff gets out there, it's basically a treacherous kind of thing to do. The Pentagon Papers basically showed the motivations and strategy of the elites, no less. Then I guess things can just continue on their merry way, as they always have. But you know what? Some people on this planet are opposed to these lies and to this hypocrisy. We realize that people in power have to make very difficult decisions. The question becomes whether these decisions are being made on behalf of their populations, which they are supposed to be representing, or in favor of themselves and their financial backers. I've read some commentaries regarding these WikiLeaks now. You know, 400,000 documents. It's a huge amount of information to start with. But the first criticism comes from the Pentagon, of course, and they're not gonna tell you what they think about it. What they're actually worried about is a much deeper thing. But they're going to tell you, well, you know, number one, basically these leaks are endangering our troops, and number two, these leaks are not accurate. They are falsified information, and even though they came from the Pentagon itself, right? And none of this should even concern you, because basically what we're talking about is statistics and war statistics, and these should be taken very seriously. So if if it's a question between numbers, 1 million people killed or 66,000 civilians killed, it really doesn't make any difference because the cause was right. We did it because the cause was justified. This has gone on around so many times in the history of the world, it's almost laughable at this point. So yeah, I support Wikileaks and their efforts, and although I think in realistic terms that probably may not work out the way they wanted it to work out, because most Americans are completely apathetic to these revelations. It's like 3% of all Americans even are tuned in to the war in Afghanistan or Pakistan. They don't care because it does not directly affect them yet. And once it does affect them, then somebody else is going to be blamed for this. Not the higher-ups, not the financial machine on Wall Street, not the military-industrial complex, which is raking in billions and billions through these ongoing wars. No, instead our wrath is going to be turned against each other, because we're the little ones scraping for scraps, and God damn it, if you've got more, you have more right now, you're my neighbor, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be earning some sort of a wage which is $2 or $3 more an hour than me, because I've worked so hard. You're at fault. You are at fault because you want too much. This is the kind of mentality which was inherent right when the Nazis came to power in Germany. You had to find scapegoats of some kind. Either the well-to-do or those beneath you. It's not a new problem. It's just an ongoing catastrophe. People must speak out before it is too late to speak out in this country, in the United States, because it is still possible to do so. Once that vanishes, then only violence will be the answer. And that usually, in the long term, doesn't work out too well.